welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new, welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. So as you guys can see, I'm ready to film. Today I just feel it. The weather is awesome and everything is just going with the flow. Let's get started. As you guys can tell, today I'm going to be reviewing the Huda foundation. Now I am super late with this foundation. I think this foundation came out 3 years ago, but I am like, I'm not gonna even lie, I'm like super late with this foundation, and I only managed to get it in my hands just recently, and that too I had to search for it, and I got it at an affordable price. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. Let's get started. This is the Huda Faux Filter foundation that I have been dying to get my hands on, and I recently purchased it. I've tried it out about 1 time, maybe 2 times, and I have to say I'm really impressed. And as you guys can see, my face have a lot of scars, a lot of marks. I have uneven skin tone, and honestly you can literally see the redness on my face. You can see everything that is on my face, so I'm exposed daily. There's no tinted moisturizer that helps me. There's only foundations, and I don't like to put foundations daily on my skin because I break out. So I am going to show you guys how this foundation gives me the full coverage that I need. Firstly, let's take a moment to admire this package. It is plastic, it is not glass. This is the Huda Beauty Faux Filter foundation, and it is a 35 ml, and that is a 1.18 ounce of product that you get in this bottle right here. It has this beautiful sleek lid that comes over it, and you can see that the detail is just beautiful. Actually, I have this foundation on my cabinet with all my display of overseas makeup, so I really go for this because I want to save it and use it only for special occasions. And the shade that I have is 410G brown sugar, if you guys can see that. I'm honestly a shade lighter than this. I thought that this foundation would be the ideal color to my skin color, but it does oxidize and it does go a bit more orangey on my skin, so I have to use a concealer that is lighter than my skin color to actually blend everything in. So without any further ado, let's get into this product. So it claims to be full coverage. It gives you a flawless finish, semi matte. It has like a sheen finish, but it's gonna give you that Instagram finish. So what I'm trying to basically say is you're gonna get a flawless Instagram filter finish, and I'm really excited to review this for you guys because you know I'm all about foundations and a good coverage foundation. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be applying it with a beauty blender and a brush, like how I normally do when I review my foundations, and then we will take it forward from there. But from using this foundation about 2 times, as I said, I found that if you do not use a primer that is very hydrating or moisturizing, this is dry, so it will dry out your skin. Now if you do have very oily skin, then I suggest this foundation for you. But if you have a combination or you have super dry skin, then you have to moisturize really well before applying this foundation. So I have tried 2 different ways of applying this foundation when I use it, because I have a combination skin and these parts of my face tend to crease and I do get a bit dry there, whereas here and here stays a bit on the oily side. So the first time when I used this foundation, I used it with my Benefit Pore Professional Primer, and honestly guys, that did not work out for me. By midday, my face were looking very dry and it was actually breaking and cracking here. Because when I say this foundation is full coverage, I mean girl, this is full coverage. She ain't playing. She is here to stay and she's here to stick on to you. So the second time I used the Huda Beauty foundation, I went in with a nice moisturizer. So I'm using my Pantolon, or however you pronounce this cream. I'm using this moisturizer on my face before going in with the foundation. I find that this moisturizer helps my skin to actually absorb the foundation in a good way, not in a bad way, not going into your pores and getting clogged, but it goes and it makes the foundation set really well. And I'm also about tacky primers, because if you have a tacky primer, your foundation will actually set better on your face and it'll cling and you will have a flawless looking skin. So for today's primer, I'm going to be going in with this moisturizing cream, the Pantolon cream, and you can get this from Shop Glow Theory. And honestly guys, you can use it without any foundation. This is what it looks like. You can use it without any foundation, or you can use it underneath your foundation. So I'm just going to get a little bit and I'm going to apply it to my face. And I'm getting a good amount because I don't want my foundation to crack or dry. So now that my moisturizer is nicely blended into my skin, I'm going to go in with the foundation. I would like to color correct, but I'm going to show you guys the true review of this foundation. So I'm going to be doing my left side of my face with a brush, and then I'm going to be doing the right side of my face with a beauty blender, just to show you guys how this foundation blends out with a beauty blender and a brush. So let's get into it. Firstly, I'm not going to be taking a lot, because when I first used it, I was so eager to use it that I literally went in and I applied it all over to my face. By the time I got to my forehead and the other side of my face, the foundation was kind of getting dry and hard. So I'm going to be working as I go. So that means it's going to be more moisturizing, and you can spread it out even more. So I'm just going to take one pump. That is all I'm doing, is one pump on the back of my hand. And I'm going to dot it onto my face. So we are going to be doing this side with a brush. And honestly, I think one pump is too much. I'm not gonna lie, because I used about 3 pumps when I did this and it was too much. So I'm going to be using my signature foundation brush, and I'm just going to blend this out. Okay beauty babes, so this is my face with the foundation. As I was applying this foundation, I could smell this beautiful, like a fragrance in it, which is a bit strong, but if you can handle any fragrance in your foundation, then this will work for you. But as you guys can see, I got beautiful flawless coverage. As I said, it does dry as you apply it. I was finding that by the 4th time that I was taking my brush and blending out the foundation, the foundation was actually drying, so I didn't want to go in too harsh with the brush, because what will happen is I will move the product. So this is the coverage that you guys can see. Now it does look a bit light on camera, but trust me, by the end of this video, this foundation will oxidize a shade darker than my skin. I've seen it happen, and I can say that this foundation is truly full coverage. As you guys can see, compare this side of my face to this side, and as you guys can see, in one pump I got completely full coverage. That's why I love this foundation. So moving along, we're going to be doing the right side of our face, and I'm going to be using my beauty blender. So again, I'm just going to be doing like a 1 pump, not even a full pump. And I have like a fluff here because my cat's always in my beauty room. There you go, got it done. So I'm just doing dots exactly the same. And now I'm going to go in with my beauty blender, and I'm going to blend all of this product in. Okay beauty babes, so this is the right side blended in with a beauty blender. For me personally, I can say that the brush gives you a more flawless, fuller coverage, whereas the beauty blender does absorb some products. As you guys can see, I'm just going to turn around and I'm going to show you guys. I will zoom you guys in, and you can see that with the beauty blender I didn't get the full coverage that I need. Maybe my beauty blender needs to go and I need to get a new one. But as you guys can see, compare the side, which is super flawless, to this side. And I'm blown away because with the brush, I actually got full coverage and I did not waste any product. But with the beauty blender, it did leave some, honestly, I would say I've got some beauty blender marks right here, and it's patchy. Maybe my skin is like that, but honestly, that's why I always prefer using a brush. I did, like back in the days, believe in a beauty blender, but now I switched to a brush, and I find that applying the foundation with a brush works better if you have a lot of scars and marks on your face. So my take on the beauty blender is a no-go for me. Maybe it'll work for you, maybe you have tried it out with the beauty blender, but for me personally, this is a no from me with the beauty blender. It gives you a bit of a natural finish. It still has that dewy finish to it, but it's not giving me the coverage that I want, and I am a full coverage queen. Okay, beauty babes, let's move along and let's add concealer to this foundation. So I'm going to be going in with my L'Oreal Infallible More Than Conceal Concealer, and this is in the shade 333. I am going to be applying this over the foundation, and I'm going to be blending it out. We're going to see how it's wearing. So far it is starting to oxidize and get darker than my skin color, but what I'm finding is that on my forehead right here, because I have like a forehead line running straight across my forehead, when I do that, like kind of that, it's creasing and it's going into that lines, and it's actually staying there, which I do not like. So I'm hoping that when I do set this with powder, it will actually stay better than what it is. So anyway, let's go in with the concealer. It is tacky, this foundation. Honestly, it's really tacky. It's matte, but it's tacky. So I'm just gonna blend that out. Just going to add a little bit more concealer around the mouth area right here, because that's where I tend to crease. So, and right there. Now I'm going to be doing the forehead. So as you guys can see, I will zoom you guys in. You guys can see that the foundation literally went and got stuck in my fine lines over here, which I'm not too happy about, but let's just go with the flow. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with translucent powder. So the translucent powder that I'm going to be using after a long time is my Yardley Absolute Translucent Powder. So I'm going to reach for this guy and I'm going to be using it. So I'm just going to buff out whatever creases I have under my eye, and then I'm going to be using a brush to apply this powder. So guys, the translucent powder is now on my face, and it is setting the concealer as well as the foundation. I am going to go off camera. I'm going to complete my eye look and I'm going to complete my face, and I will see you guys on the other side to give you my honest thoughts and reviews about this foundation. Okay, my beauty babes, we have reached the end of this video right here. As you guys can see, I have a full face of makeup on. I wanted to keep the eyes very simple today, but go for a bold lips because I have so many lipsticks that I'm dying to try out. But other than that, this foundation gets a 10 out of 10 from me. Reason being, it gives me the full coverage that I need. It has that flawless Instagram filter finish that I was looking for. It is matte and it stays on, like, I think I applied this makeup about 2 o'clock. Now is about nearly 5 o'clock. So this foundation stays on really well. I love the way the makeup turned out. It's really gorgeous. When I first used this foundation to now, the first 2 times that I used this foundation, I did set it with my Makeup Revolution banana powder, and I found that it oxidized. Well, today when I did set my foundation and my concealer with the translucent powder, the shade did not oxidize. It's actually the true shade of my skin color. But I am so happy that this foundation offers so much of coverage in just 1 pump. I mean, where can you save foundation and get the full coverage at the same time? I'm really loving this foundation. Obviously I won't be using it a lot because I don't want my skin to break out. I've heard that when you use this foundation a lot, you will break out because it's so thick and it gives you that full coverage. However, I won't be using it a lot, maybe for occasions and special occasions and all of that good stuff. But other than that, I love you guys so much. Don't forget to take care of each other. I'm sending you lots of love. Don't forget to stay safe as well, and I will see you guys on the next video. I'm sending love. Bye guys.
We live.